Wow, what a busy news cycle we've had, not just in the United States, but around the globe. There's been so much going on with the economy, the influences of the Ukrainian war, the Supreme Court and their decision with Roe v. Wade. I mean, there's just been a lot going on. Let's go ahead and give it a talk. Thank you so much for joining me. I would love for you guys to please go check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Like, share, and comment on our YouTube channel. Like, share, comment, and smash the subscribe button. Don't forget to ding that bell so you get those notifications. Okay? Well, like I said in the opening segment, the Supreme Court. That's been pretty much the big news, unless you've been living under a rock. That's been the big news. Roe v. Wade was repealed, and it has sent the country into a tailspin. And the ramifications of it, if you don't know, one way or another, they are going to affect a lot of people. If there are 18 states that are already banning totally, with no exception, abortions. So there's going to be about 28 states altogether that will have some sort of ban, whether it be provisional or what have you. So some women will still have protections and a lot will not. And you hear the argument a lot of the time, especially from white people of privilege, white women, well, I'll just have to drive to another state if I need it, or I'll take a plane, or, I can do this, I can do that. Well, that is privilege right there. You should remember that an abortion ban is going to disproportionately affect people of color, people that are less advantaged than you. Some people just do not have the resources. They're not going to be able to jump in a car and go to another state. They can't even afford it. Now, there are companies that are claiming that they are going to pay for, travel expenses and time off, for people to do that. Well, not everybody works at those companies. And remember that that's probably going to be part and parcel of your insurance policy if they have insurance at all. So there will be a record of you going. Now, you could just say you're going for a medical procedure, but I think they'll surmise by the fact you're going to a abortion approved state, it will be on record. So let's not forget that it is transactional, that people of color and people that are disadvantaged and or both are going to suffer more than you. Before you go opening your damn mouth, they will suffer more than you, by far. So it's time for the white people that claimed to have been woke during the Black Lives Matter thing, they need to stand up right now for black women and women of color that may be seeking abortion or help in that area. It's time to step up and do the right thing. And if you think that all of these things that are coming down are not leading towards a theocracy, and you've seen all the memes of the Handmaid's Tale and everything. Well, I looked into a lot of the Handmaid's Tale wiki. It's from the show, and I do have a copy of the book, and it's still, like I say, very much recommended reading. I've read it twice already. And if you think that we're not, you look at how the courts are stacked. Donald Trump appointed 3 Supreme Court justices, of course, Republicans, who are Christian Republicans with far right-leaning ideologies. If you read Judge Alito's first paper that was leaked, there was some crazy shit in that thing. So it went through. It went through. And if you think that those are the only 3 judges that Donald Trump appointed, no. In 4 years, he appointed 226 federal judges to the bench nationwide. Certainly not the most appointed by other presidents. Some presidents were in office longer, 2 terms, and had, 300 some odd, appointees. He had 54 appeals court judges that he appointed, one shy of what Obama did, 55, in 8 years. So, I mean, he worked fast and furious. So this was not something, he didn't pull those names out of his ass. There is a group of right-wing extremist Christian Republicans who are, by and large, white old school people, white privileged people, that he has appointed to the benches. And if you think about it, it's not a conspiracy theory now. It's not conspiracy. It's just another thing to think about. If you think about it, it is a way of decreasing the black population because there will be deaths. There will be children abandoned because of lack of services. And I find it hard to believe that all these pro-choicers or pro-lifers, I find it hard to believe that when there starts to become a surplus of fostered children, children put up for adoption, or abandoned children, I find it hard to believe that they're going to be going out in droves and adopting these kids. Actions speak louder than words. This means that you're not pro-life, you're just pro-birth. Where's the, aftercare? Where's prenatal care, for that matter? Where's postnatal care? Where's, child care? Where's assistance with food for these single mothers that don't have resources? That's pro-life. Those things are pro-life. So, so many things that happened in The Handmaid's Tale. So many things. It's not just fiction. Margaret Atwood even said that she doesn't see that book as science fiction. Rather, she sees it as speculative fiction. In other words, things that could be, things that might be, things that will be. And a lot of the things that happened in the book, a lot of the things that set up the scene for some of the chapters and, background of the book are things that actually happened in history. Now, she wrote the book when she was living in Berlin before the wall came down. And she even said that she had felt the fear, the hopelessness, the anguish of the people, the split up, divided families on each side of the wall. And, she felt the heartache of the people. So that's a personal experience that she had. And that helped her to dive into the subjects. Now, a lot of the things that happened, of course, the submissive wives that happened, still happening across the globe. Homosexuality is illegal. It is still illegal and punishable by law in 69 countries. And in fact, in the United States, it was still illegal in 18 states. Illegal. I was born in the 60s. Holy crap. No abortions. That's considered taboo. It's illegal still in countries. Female circumcision still being practiced. It's an archaic, painful thing, but it's real. It's not fake. The contraceptions, those were in Romania. Oh, I forget the year, back in the 70s, I believe it was. In Romania, they had outlawed abortion. And at the time, the government saw that their population started to drop. They actually wanted to, they wanted to increase their population by a certain, 20,000 children a year. They wanted to increase their population. So they outlawed contraception. Contraception and abortion was outlawed. Then they had a baby boom that was like double the year prior to. What that did was place an enormous burden on the government to build orphanages. Now, you could see something like that happening in the States, although we don't have, quote, orphanages, we do have a foster system that's overburdened, and there will be a lot of abandoned kids and a lot of neglected children. It just will be, and it's horrible to think that those things would happen. And I've heard people say that we're not going to have a Handmaid's Tale and we're not going to have a theocracy. You better believe we're heading towards a neo Puritan theocracy for sure. Just like the dystopian Gilead that you find in The Handmaid's Tale. Now, I don't see it getting that bad. I don't see the Constitution being dissolved totally, but they're trying. They are trying. They're trying to erode away at it little by little. So it very well could happen. Now, these are worst case scenarios, and now I don't see them forcing women into handmaid type situations totally in the United States, while forced surrogacy still happens in the world. I don't see that happening here, and I don't see them forcing them to wear certain colored garb, although there are, sexed religions here in the States that do wear certain clothing. Bonnets on their heads, a certain way they wear their hair. That's same for the men, same way they wear their clothing and hats and things like that. I mean, there are sects that do that. I don't see that happening nationwide, but some form of it very well could happen. Worst case scenario. Worst case scenario. It could very well happen. So everybody, please keep an eye on what's going on. Be active. Stay active. Don't get tired of hearing about this stuff. Don't ever get tired. Don't get complacent. Don't see it as a distraction to other things. I know we have a lot of other things going on. I know we do. But don't see this issue as a distraction. Stay active. Stay involved. Stay informed. And give your support to family members. Give your support to women in your family that may need your help. Well, in other news, we did have the Ukrainian war, like I was saying. It is still going on, and Russia has taken a very strong hold on one of the richest natural resource areas of the country. They were surrounding the Ukrainian troops, and the Ukrainian troops have had to withdraw from that area, which means that Russia is not only, just killing a lot of Ukrainians and destroying the landscape, they are moving in on the natural resources. It is one of the largest exporters of many, many natural resources. One of the largest exporters of corn to the UK, ore and minerals, just textiles. The country is rich. Don't think because it's a small country it's not rich. That place is a gold mine, and Russia wants it. They want it. They want it back. Also in the news, a horrible story at the border. 50 dead illegal immigrants were found in the back of a semi-tractor trailer. Now, they were either brought across the border in that tractor, or they were picked up at a location, probably brought across the border, whereby a wall would have nothing to do by stopping them. But these coyotes, they're not just bringing them over in 10s and 20s and 30s. They're loading them up in tractor trailers and bringing them over. And that's been going on for a while. It's happened before, too. Shipping containers have been found full of dead bodies. And it's a horrible scene. It's a horrible thing. People pay the ultimate price to seek freedom in the United States. Something has to be done, but closing the borders is not the answer. It's not the answer. This is the richest country in the world. It may not be for long, though. They keep this shit up. Well, in my closing thoughts, I keep going back to Roe v. Wade. and the ramifications, the consequences of that. I heard a discussion, it was online. A man had asked his wife if he thought that because of this Roe v. Wade banned abortion thing, did she think there was going to be an increase in women committing suicide? And she immediately said yes. And then she immediately returned with the statement, and there's probably going to be an increase in boyfriends and husbands murdering these women that couldn't get them. That's horrible to think. That is horrible to think. So if you think the consequences are just children being neglected, and I'd say just, but if you think the only consequence is children being neglected or our foster system being overburdened or, so many bad things that these children are going to have to endure, and these mothers too. They're going to have to make some tough decisions. It's going to be hard. It's going to be hard. And don't be heartless and say you got to live with your consequences. Don't be heartless. That's not the answer. That's not the answer. Listen, people. Take care of yourselves and each other. Until next time. Peace.